Hey, Coach Pat here with another episode of the 1 Minute Coach, and it's been a minute since I've been on, so I want to catch you up a little bit on what I've been thinking about and seeing with my clients. And the issue that just keeps coming up over and over and over is dealing with shame. And shame is such a debilitating thing for many people. It keeps them from reaching their potential. It leads to procrastination. It leads to perfectionism. And let's break it down here for a second. So, people oftentimes will interchange the words guilt and shame, and they're not actually the same thing. Guilt is I'm with somebody, I joke around, and I hurt their feelings, and they say, "Hey, Pat, you know what? That hurt my feelings." I can feel bad about that, right? They're my friend. I feel a little bit guilty. That's okay, right? They're my friend. I didn't want to hurt them. Okay, I feel bad about it. I don't need to overly beat myself up, but I can accept it and say, hey, you know what? Sorry, didn't mean it that way, but I get it. So sorry it hit you that way. That's guilt. That's normal. That can be really healthy. Shame is when you take it one step further. Okay, is I make a comment and the person says, hey, that bothered me. And instead of saying, hey, dude, sorry, I did that, I turn it back on myself and I say, I'm a bad person now. Okay, so it's not about, hey, I made a mistake and I said something wrong. It's, I'm a bad person. It's not, I made a mistake. It's, I am a mistake. And lots of us that were raised in environments growing up where there was high expectation, high critique, low encouragement, the outcome usually is you're a high achiever, right? Because you're afraid not to achieve and you feel that pressure to achieve, so you do achieve athletically, academically, theater, whatever, you achieve. But there's a vulnerability to shame when you're from that environment. And the vulnerability is you can quickly go from, hey, I made a mistake to, I have a character flaw. You don't have a character flaw. And what I've seen with a lot of my clients is the shame cycle. Okay, I get triggered and I do something wrong, and then I immediately beat myself up, and then I avoid because I'm a bad person, so I don't want to deal with it. And then I procrastinate, or I only want to do things if I can do it perfectly. And then I keep wondering, why does my life feel negative? And why do I feel like I'm not meeting my potential? Well, because you're caught in a shame cycle. And breaking that shame cycle really has to do with changing the messaging we give to ourselves and being able to separate events from identity, failing from being a failure, making a mistake from being an idiot. These are critical things, right? And a lot of high achievers can mask that. And, sometimes we deal with the pain of shame, drugs, alcohol, workaholism, gambling, pornography, whatever. People will do it and they don't realize the underlying thing is, hey man, I feel bad about myself. So the challenge here is to really be able to separate that stuff. I'm going to link a video from Carl Jung on shame that I think is really powerful. You got to sort of pack a lunch. It's an hour long video, but it's really, really good, and would just encourage you when you have some time to watch it. Especially if you've come from that, high critique, low encouragement environment, or where you're super tough on yourself, I think you'll find it really interesting. And, if this is the kind of thing that you want to talk about further, I'll put a link to my consult calendar as well. I do feel like this is something, maybe from my own background, that I have a good sense of helping people. And because it's painful, because most of these people actually have achieved pretty well in their lives, but they don't necessarily feel great about it. So just wanted to share that with you, and check out those links, and have yourself a great rest of the day. Thanks.